right now on News Channel 8 at 8.
Oh my God, please don't tell me he's dead. These police are not here to protect and serve us. They are here to assassinate us.
They instantly rushed their colleague off to the side where they comforted him. I was treated like a criminal. I was treated like I was the one who did this. They were very, very racist towards me. They treated me like this was my fault.
Would this have happened if those passengers, the driver and the passenger, were white? I don't think it would have. So I'm forced to confront it. I think all of us in Minnesota are forced to confront that this kind of racism exists.
News Channel 8 at 8 begins now.
Good evening, I'm Jen Holloway.
And I'm Josh Benson. Thanks for being with us tonight. Well, we are learning new information tonight about the second deadly police shooting in 2 days. Right now, you're taking a live look above St. Paul, Minnesota. Groups of protesters are marching in the streets there. This isn't far from where a man was shot to death by an officer. And you can see from the helicopter, it is being led by a patrol car. Now, that appears to be growing, so we're going to keep a close eye on this situation. That crowd is starting to grow quite a bit. We'll check back in with that in just a few minutes.
Horrified and in shock, Diamond Reynolds grabbed her phone and she started live streaming her fiance's death. She was in the passenger seat next to Philando Castile when he was shot by an officer during a traffic stop in Falcon Heights, Minnesota. Reynolds' daughter was in the back seat of her car.
We got pulled over for a busted tail light in the back. And the police, he's covered. They killed my boyfriend. He's licensed. He's licensed to carry. He was trying to get out his ID.
The officer is now on paid administrative leave. Castile's mother told reporters that police feel like they can do anything now that so many officers have been acquitted of murder.
It's like open season. Okay, I can shoot him and I'll get acquitted. I'll get my money every day like I'm working.
What do they do? Yeah, put him on paid leave. You can't work, but you can still get money.
Just a few hours ago, Minnesota's governor called the shooting absolutely appalling and said that Castile would still be alive if he were white.
Well, this comes just one day after protests erupted in Louisiana. Now, the feds are launching a civil rights investigation after this video went viral. 2 Baton Rouge officers were caught on camera pinning Elton Sterling to the ground and shooting him several times in the chest. Officers Blaine Salamone and Howie Lake are now on administrative leave. Protesters say that's not enough. They want justice. And right now, people in Sarasota are holding a protest. Dozens of people have taken to the streets in the wake of these shootings. Our own Paul Mueller joins us live from that vigil tonight. And Paul, that crowd is starting to grow out there.
It's been growing for the last half an hour, 45 minutes or so, Josh. And these people, the dozens of people, are out here in memory of Philando Castile and Alton Sterling. As we just heard, they are the 2 black men who were killed by white police officers in the last 45 hours. Take a look. It is quiet now. This was supposed to start out as a vigil, but this has now become a protest. And you can see the signs out here right now that they're holding, that they want the system to stop protecting these killer cops, as they call them, and they want to make it clear that Black Lives Matter. I want to go ahead and show you some video, some confrontational video as well, from just a few minutes ago here at the intersection of Washington Boulevard and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Way. At one point, these protesters had actually blocked this busy thoroughfare of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Way. Police had to actually come in and escort those people off the street. Obviously, that was a tense scene there for a while, but thankfully no one arrested, no one injured, nothing like that. I want to go ahead and show you now some a video from these 2 shootings that we talked about earlier in the newscast. The viral video of both shootings stirring up feelings of outrage here in Sarasota as well. The latest shooting last night, as we said, Philando Castile killed in a St. Paul, Minnesota suburb by a police officer. Now, the girlfriend who was in the car said Castile went for his ID, and that's when cops shot him. A day before, Tuesday, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, cops shot and killed Alton Sterling. A 911 call reportedly saying he had a weapon outside a convenience store. Cops and Sterling struggling on the ground, shots fired. Sterling later dies. One of the protesters here tonight told me why all of this, she says, has to stop. Take a listen.
Well, it's important to me because I see how our black men are being destroyed by the police, and it's an injustice, and most important, I see how justice has not been served, you know?
All right, back live again. It seems to be winding down here a little bit. Was supposed to be a vigil, now becoming a protest this afternoon. There was about, I'd say, a couple of dozen people here. It started out with just a few people. We didn't even know it was going to be a protest, but again, this grew to be about 4 or 5 dozen people. Meantime, as far as these 2 cases go, state and federal authorities are investigating. President Obama also weighing in today, saying these are not isolated incidents and that as Americans, we should be, quote, deeply troubled. Josh?
There's definitely some tense times out there and all around the country, that's for sure. Paul Mueller live for us in Sarasota. Thanks, Paul. Well, here's what is making headlines in politics now. House Democrats tried a new tactic to get action on gun control measures. One by one, each lawmaker made the same speech while holding up a picture of a victim of gun violence. And one by one, the Speaker of the House denied their requests. The bill would strengthen background checks for people wanting to buy guns.
Republicans are expressing frustration over the FBI's decision to not push for criminal charges against Hillary Clinton. Today, the FBI director faced a House panel over Clinton's use of a private email server.
The average American, that if they had done what you laid out in your statement, that they'd be in handcuffs.
My conclusion was and remains, no reasonable prosecutor would bring this case. No reasonable prosecutor would bring the second case in 100 years focused on gross negligence.
Democrats call the hearing political theater.
Donald Trump is coming to Florida tomorrow to give a speech in Miami. Today he met with lawmakers on Capitol Hill and vowed to defend all 12 articles of the Constitution, but there are only 7. Lawmakers gave Trump mixed reviews, but agreed that the party must unite in order to defeat Hillary Clinton.
Havana, Cuba is now closer than it's been in years to the United States. Today, the U.S. Department of Transportation announced a tentative list of cities soon providing commercial air service to Cuba's capital, and Tampa is one of them. Chip Osowski joins us now live at Tampa International Airport. Chip, this must be extremely exciting for airport officials.
Jen, very exciting. As you might imagine, Tampa International Airport CEO, his staff, and countless others worked tirelessly to make this happen. And this morning, they got the phone call that they had been anxiously awaiting. If the DOT's tentative decision becomes final, Southwest will fly once a day to Havana, Cuba. And while there is quite a bit of expansion excitement here.
So these are brand new escalators.
TIA CEO Joe Lopano is giddy about that. One can only imagine his reaction to Thursday morning's news.
Almost drove off the road about, the fact that we now finally have achieved something that we've been working on for so long. And the people of Tampa and the people of Havana and all the people that connect on Southwest are going to have a great opportunity.
Until now, charter flights were one of the only ways to make it to Cuba. So what will commercial flights mean for those who organize smaller junkets? News Channel 8's Jeff Patterson spoke with Steve Rupert with CubaTravelAdventure.com in Cuba. And I caught up with him today. He feels everyone may benefit from this.
There's always going to be people that want to go with a smaller group, and my groups are never more than 9 people. All of my groups are very authentic. We don't wander around in buses and point out the bus windows. This is all the real deal. You're going to stay with private people. You're going to stay in their houses. You're going to meet a lot of Cubans. You're going to go to all the museums and galleries.
And also on the list, Orlando and Miami. Orlando is slated to get 1 flight per day, Miami 4 flights per day. But again, this is a tentative list. The finalized list from the U.S. Department of Transportation doesn't come out until later this summer. Jen?
All right, pretty exciting for a lot of people. Chip Osowski live tonight at Tampa International. Thank you, Chip.
All right, let's get a check of that forecast. The heat continues.
Yes, it does.
But some rain in some spots today.
Yeah, and we actually saw a little bit more cloud cover today. I didn't think it felt quite as bad out today as it has been. So, a little bit better. That's just me, though, I know. We only made it up to 90 today, better than yesterday's 94. So things improved a little bit, mainly just because of the rain around. Some of these storms produced some small hail. Kelly sent us this photo from Carrollwood. Of course, if you have some more photos from the storms today, you can head over to our Facebook page or Twitter account and show them to us. We always love to see them. On the radar at this point, it is quiet. We had isolated storms around earlier, but nothing left on the radar. That's the stable environment we're dealing with. The showers and storms just can't really sustain themselves. Temperatures at this point have fallen back into the mid to upper 80s. It's still 87 in Tampa, 84 in Plant City, 83 in Apollo Beach, and 89 currently in Bradenton. So we've really been feeling the heat the last couple of days. The reason being that ridge of high pressure. We've seen less rain, less cloud cover, and that's meant the heat has lasted well into the evening hours. There just hasn't been any relief. And then also the heat index has been exceptionally high. Not only are temperatures running above average, the humidity is also high. So that's why it's been feeling like the triple digits each day. So for tonight, still looking at another warm one, dropping back only to around 80. But we'll have a look at the weekend forecast coming up because it's just about time for
Almost
that.
there.
Yeah.
Thanks, Julie.
Coming up next on News Channel 8 at 8 on Great 38.
Ybor City is historic and scenic, but coming up, we'll talk with someone who says we're missing out on film productions that could be made right here.
You're watching Tampa Bay's most convenient primetime newscast. This is News Channel 8 at 8 on Great 38.
Listen up. Washington wants to make the biggest bust in U.S. history, Pablo Escobar, and his main distributor, Roberto Alcano.
The exciting new film, The Infiltrator, is based on a Tampa author's autobiography. So why was only a small portion of it filmed here? The answer 8 on your side found is money. In the meantime, actor Bryan Cranston had a lot of good things to say about Tampa Bay when we met him at the film screening last night.
So it begs the question, is enough being done to bring Hollywood to the Sunshine State? Well, Jeff Patterson went to Ybor City, where they missed out on an opportunity to have a different movie filmed there.
Hollywood strolled down the red carpet in Tampa on Wednesday night with stars like Bryan Cranston singing the praises of making a movie here.
Yeah, it's a great town and good food now, and there's a casual nature to it.
For Hillsborough County Commissioner Ken Hagan, this night was the result of hard work to bring a movie production to Tampa.
We want to show Hollywood and show the industry that not only are we open for business, but we intend to be the state leader in film production.
The Infiltrator is based on a story about the Tampa area, but not all of the film was shot here. Here's another movie lost for Tampa. Take a look at these photos. Look familiar? Does it look like Ybor City? These are actually pictures of a movie set built in Brunswick, Georgia, made to look like Ybor. It's a Ben Affleck movie called Live by Night, soon to be released. It could have been shot here, but wasn't.
Other areas are going all in.
Travis Horn owns S3 Media Creative Solutions, a marketing company that has lobbied to get more movies made in Florida.
We've talked to legislators, and it just kind of died on the vine.
Horn believes other areas are getting film productions because they are offering movie companies incentives, and Florida isn't, losing out on publicity and jobs.
We're losing out on restaurant visits, hotel stays, construction, a lot of construction trades.
Jeff Patterson, News Channel 8.
And an effort to approve funding in the state legislature to attract more movie productions to Florida failed last year. The person who introduced the legislation last year is now retiring. There's a film commission here. They do reach out to production companies, but they say it's an uphill battle when other areas are offering financial incentives to have their movies shot in their locations.
Well, if they shoot movies here, sometimes they're going to have some great weather, sometimes
Yes.
not, but
It's just
we
a
get a
mixed,
lot to offer.
It's a mixed bag in the summertime months, though. But, you know, it gets just as hot other places. You look at the temperatures.
Can't beat the weather here.
You can't. It's perfect. And you've got the beaches, too, to cool off in. I think it's great, but yes, it has been hot recently for anyone here that's on vacation this week. Taking a look outside in Venice, still 83 degrees right now, with our winds coming in out of the northwest between 5 to 10 miles per hour. You can see some haze, but haven't picked up any rain at this location so far today. Also looking at blue skies in Land O'Lakes out at Connerton, 84 degrees, with our winds fairly light. Blue skies there and no rain at that location today. Here's a look at our high temperatures, though, the next few days. We're looking at them staying above average in the low to mid 90s all the way into next week. And for this evening, it's still quite warm outside. 9 p.m., we're sitting near 84 degrees. All the showers and storms have now wrapped up, and as we head into tomorrow morning, it's going to be a muggy start to the day. We can't rule out a stray morning shower, but most of the rain will be in the afternoon, and we're looking at about a 30% chance of storms with highs in the low to mid 90s. You can see on the radar what we had earlier has all since faded away. We just had isolated storms. Not a whole lot of us saw rain, but we did see some strong storms in the spots where we did see rain. And now through the rest of this evening, it's just going to stay warm. Temperatures not dropping below 80 degrees for a lot of us once again. And when you wake up tomorrow morning, that's what it's going to feel like. Sticky again. And then as we head into the afternoon hours, we'll heat up pretty quickly, topping out in the low to mid 90s. Scattered storms around similar to today, maybe even a few more for tomorrow. But by Saturday, we actually see some drier air move in. So lots of sunshine to start off during the morning hours. And then we'll just see a couple of showers and storms developing as we head into Saturday afternoon. Out in the tropics, good news there. Over the next 5 days, no development is expected for us. Rain chances 30% tomorrow, then 20% through this weekend. And next week, our rain chance is starting to go back up and temperatures a little bit closer to normal.
Coming up next on News Channel 8 at 8 on Great 38. Marvel is giving Iron Man a big makeover. Who's taking on Robert Downey Jr.'s role? This OK Go music video is helping transform the future of media. How it could change basically everything digital. We'll have that and more coming up on News Channel 8 at 8, right here on Great 38.
What does this OK Go music video have to do with the future of just about everything digital? Well, Microsoft and the University of Washington managed to save this high-def video, 200 megabytes of data, into DNA. It all fits in a pink drop in a test tube, smaller than the tip of a pencil. Now, the process of saving and reading data saved in DNA strands is still a bit difficult, but it could eventually shrink an entire data center down to the size of a few sugar cubes. Incredible stuff there. Well, Amazon hopes to bring you packages by drone, but a company from Estonia has a more down-to-earth idea, and it's all ready to deliver. Starship Technologies has built a 6-wheel delivery robot. Mashable.com reports a test program will begin this month in London. Now, Dusseldorf, Germany, and actually in Bern, Switzerland as well. These robots use GPS, radar, and cameras to drive 2 or 3 miles on their own, although they are monitored by humans. Engineers made the robot cute so that people wouldn't be intimidated by them. And Amazon Prime Day is coming up next Tuesday, and it could turn out to be a big day for other retailers as well. Last year's Prime Day became the 4th largest online shopping day of the year. And while Amazon broke records, Macy's, Walmart, Best Buy, and Newegg, they all saw big boosts in their online shoppers as well.
Marvel is getting more diverse. In tonight's Hollywood Minute, David Daniel shows us the next Iron Man will not look anything like Robert Downey Jr.
You just started a war. When the latest Civil War wraps up, Tony Stark won't be Iron Man anymore, at least in the comics. Marvel broke the news in Time magazine. The new Iron Man is an African-American teenage girl, Riri Williams, a science genius who starts MIT at 15 and builds her own Iron Man suit in her dorm room. She'll take over from Stark when the current Civil War II comic series ends. 'Cause ever since I left the city, Music sales are down again, but don't blame Drake. Billboard says both CD and digital album sales are on the decline, but Drake is doing great. His album Views is the year's best seller so far, both in digital sales and overall.
This I know you will not like, but we cannot always have things as we wish.
Lynn's last Ham for Ham. For Lin-Manuel Miranda's final Wednesday appearance for fans outside the theater before he leaves Hamilton this weekend, he read a letter from Hamilton to his future wife, Eliza, then brought out departing stars Philippa Sue and Leslie Odom Jr. to sing an all-too-appropriate song.
Happy trails to you until we meet again. We love you guys.
In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Well, he played an officer on television, and now he is one in real life.
I woke up this morning, brushed my teeth, combed my hair, blew it out. Look, I'm ready. I'm ready to go.
Hey, it's Ponch. Remember him? Eric Estrada has now been sworn in as a reserve officer in St. Anthony, Idaho. The 67-year-old actor played a highway patrol officer on the 70s TV hit series Chips. Estrada is now teaming up with the St. Anthony Police Department to kick off the new Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force. And then there's this.
Coming up next on News Channel 8 at 8 on Great 38.
With temperatures soaring, your AC is working overtime to keep your home cool. I'll explain what you can do to keep your bill from soaring too.
When $11,000 came up missing from the Chorus Club bank account here at George Jenkins High School, boosters didn't have to look very far. It was their own treasurer who took the money.
We'll have that and more coming up. You're watching Tampa Bay's most convenient primetime newscast.